What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. You guys probably know what these boots are, so let's just jump straight into the unboxing. Today's video is also going to be a little bit of a boot history for you guys, because we are going to go from the very early days of David Beckham and his Predator choices all the way to today and the unboxing of the Predator Elite David Beckham. So you get a beautiful blue box with, of course, the Adidas original stripes. There is a lot of detailing about this football boot that I think are very, very cool, including some of the trefoil logoing, which, of course, if you didn't know, is this logo right here, or as a lot of people know this as the Adidas original logo. These are the Predator Elite FTDB for David Beckham in firm ground. These are my usual 9 US, a 42 2/3, a Japan 27, and a UK 8.5. For those of you who don't know, these are the exact same boot from a construction perspective to the Rotero, which I actually have right behind me. I am in the process of creating the 1-month review of these because I've been testing them over the last 2 months or 3 months now, and they are absolutely incredible football boots. So these, from a construction standpoint, exactly the same, obviously with some upgrades to some of the design, some of the logoing, and some of the special features that make it the David Beckham Predator. Now, as we get these unboxed, I'm not going to talk too much about this beautiful unboxing experience, other than to say that this is actually the exact same unboxing, this type of box, as the new Messi and Bad Bunny boots. So I am wondering if some of the new special edition colorways of some of Adidas' new models will be in this sort of top off instead of drawer style box. I think these are nice and robust. They're very premium feeling, and the unboxing experience of something like this actually feels even better, I think, than the drawer style box, because you can add custom details like this to the inside of the box lid, and of course the trefoil logos all over the upper, which you'll see on the boots as well. So the inside message: after 30 years, I asked the question, "You're welcome, David." So this is, of course, in design. This is sort of in collaboration with David Beckham, which is very, very cool. Now, I do want to continue to chat through the history of David Beckham Predator, but first let's get a I actually haven't seen these in person yet. They've been sitting in my, oh my days. Yeah, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. And then let's just do this for the camera really quick. Yo. These look amazing. Wow, wow, wow. These look absolutely amazing. These might be boot of the year. This particular colorway might be boot of the year. I'm actually gonna throw these. I know this is sacrilege. I'm gonna throw it there just to be a little easier on the elastic. Holy. God, the detail in the sole plate is amazing too. Wow, they did a really nice job with these. Okay, there are some things that I would actually change about the design, but we'll get into that in just a minute. Let's get the rest of the stuff out as well. There's the left boot. There's some really cool detailing on the shoes as well. And then you do get the normal Adidas string bag, but this time with the Adidas original logo there as well. So very, very nice string bag. Love that. Favorite string bags on the market. And then you do have the, let's see if I can pull this out. There we go. So you do have another pair of insoles. These must be, one of these must be like the comfort insoles. One of these must be, oh, unless these are just two different colors of insole. Hold on, let's do some comparisons really quick. Okay, so if I'm gonna take this one out. So this is obviously white. Oh, these are the same. Oh, sweet. Okay, so you get two different color, like the white with the blue, and then the blue with the white. That's kind of sick. Nice work. Thank you, Adidas. I love that. If only they had added like a second pair of laces as well. That would have been sick. But Okay, we'll leave the white ones in there. I might switch them over to the blue just because I think the blue would be kind of cool. And I wish there was a little bit more blue on here, but that's just my own personal preference. Again, as I said, we'll talk about some of the things that I would like to have seen, but for now, let's get these out of the way. Get this one down. I'll put the tongue on there as well, just so you guys get a nice look at what those are like. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the David Beckham Predator Elite FT. Stunning, absolutely stunning. So I'm gonna take this tag off, and while I do, I wanna talk to you guys about the history of the David Beckham Predator craze. David Beckham is obviously, I would argue, and I don't think there would be really an argument for anyone else, David Beckham is the Predator. The Predator is David Beckham. There is no other player on planet Earth who I think epitomizes what the Predator was supposed to be. Yes, I know he was their talisman guy. He was the face of the Predator for a really long time. It's kind of the same as CR7 with the Superfly. Like, that's kind of, when you think of CR7, you think of the Superfly. When you think of the Superfly, you think of CR7. You think of the Predator, the first name out of anyone's mouth is usually David Beckham. The only other person that I think potentially could make this argument is maybe Zidane, but even then, I just don't think it's the same. David Beckham is the Predator. The Predator is David Beckham. Now, a couple really cool aspects of this football boot that I think just make this really nice from a detailing perspective is you have the trefoil logo here in silver that basically make the 3 stripes. We'll get some macro shots of that as well. You do have the trefoil logo here with the Adidas logo, which is really nice. And then on the inside of the tongue, you've got the Beckham and the trefoil logo there. White laces. I would have kind of liked to see maybe some blue laces. That would have been cool. And then you do have the trefoil logo that's almost underneath this, sort of on the first layer of the sole plate, and then there's a clear coating over it. So it almost looks like this 3D texturing, which is really cool. And then you've got the big blue trefoil logo there. You've got, again, Adidas original there, and then you saw the insert as well. I'm going to take this little sticker out and throw it over here. From a softness perspective, so let's go over tech really quick, and then we'll go over history. So from a tech perspective, as I said before, same as the Predator Rotero, this is a full fusion skin leather upper, and somebody in the comment section the other day was like, hey, but it's actually synthetic in parts of the boot. Yeah, it's synthetic back here and it's knit back here. This entirety of the upper, though, is all that leather material. It's all a really nice and soft leather, which is awesome. Very, very nice. The Rotero is obviously a boot that I have enjoyed wearing. I don't know if I'm going to take these out. Similar to the Trent Alexander-Arnold boots, as you can see, the blue and the red looks pretty cool together. I really, really like that. I don't know if I'm going to be playing in these all that much just because I want to keep them super clean, but they will definitely be broken out every once in a while when I feel like I want to just, I don't know, be David Beckham, I guess. The outsole is the Control Frame 2.0 outsole with the 3-leaf clover style FG studs. This boot will not come in an AG model, so don't be waiting around for that. These ones obviously only come in FG, which is great because they're going to be suitable for most surfaces, although I feel like wearing a pair of boots that looks like this on AG would be a little bit sacrilege, but we'll see. I might end up doing it anyway. There is a fusion skin fold over tongue with the elastic on the bottom, which is really nice. So makes for a beautiful aesthetic that is an homage to Predators of the past. And that is pretty much it from a tech features perspective. As I said, they're the same as the Rotero, and they're very, very similar to the other Predator Elite FTs or non-FT models as well. So now for a history lesson, so I've got my notes in front of me. I want to go through all of the different models that David Beckham wore. So early to or late 1990s. So 1996 was the first time we saw David Beckham in a pair of Predators. Those were the Adidas Predator Touch, which Beckham began wearing in 1996, making the start of his long-term Predator relationship. He was a young player at Manchester United at the time, and 96 was the early days of the Predator in general as a silo, but also as a David Beckham boot. Then he started wearing the 1998 Predator Accelerator, which most notably in the World Cup in France in 1998. In 2000, 2 years later, he moved to the Predator Precision, which was those replaceable traction studs and a much more refined design. The Accelerator is a very iconic model. In fact, I think I've had 2 different colorways of the Accelerator remakes. Yeah, so very cool pair of football boots, very robust, very power boot, like old school power boot feeling as well. Then in 2002, which of course the 2002 World Cup, he wore the Predator Mania, which was one of the most iconic football boots associated with David Beckham. The Mania is of course probably the most famous Predator. You could argue maybe a different one, the Accelerator, potentially the Pulse or the Power Swerve as well. Those were also really, we'll get into those in just a second, but the Mania in particular was an amazing pair of football boots, and those were in 2002. Then in 2004, he moved to the Predator Pulse, which was introduced with the Power Pulse technology aimed at enhancing shot power. So they're starting to get into, Adidas was starting to get into more of the tech around how can we make a more powerful shot, and it became sort of part of the marketing. Obviously, like the strike skin fins that are on the upper here that enhance swerve or enhance the curve or bend it like Beckham or whatever you want to say, they started to get into that tech. Then in 2006, he was seen in the Predator Absolute, which had the interchangeable Power Pulse sock liners and a much sleeker design. So we start to get into Predators that were a little bit lighter weight, but still had that power boot design. Then in 2007, he went into the Adidas Predator Power Swerve, which incorporated the smart foam for swerve and power, as well as the sand inside that, I can't remember what it was called, but there was that sand that basically went into the forefoot, so that when you went in to take a shot, the sand would like move up and down in the in the sole plate, excuse me. That was actually my first pair of kind of, I would say, top end football boots or proper football boots. I had a pair of the Power Swerves in the white and gold with the David Beckham logo, which brings me to the one thing that I would have changed about these. I wish, because these are called the David Beckham Predators, I wish they would have put his DB logo on the tongue. I think that would have been so much more cool. Yes, these are awesome. Adidas original logo everywhere. It's literally all over the upper, but it is a little bit overwhelming and a little bit jarring in some design aspects. I just wish they had put the Predator logo, or excuse me, the DB logo, which is basically, we'll put it up on screen, but it's basically of him, like his iconic free kick free kick wind up, if you will. So I wish they would have put that there, but I had the white with the gold. He also wore a bunch of those at LA when he moved to LA Galaxy. So he had a navy blue with gold. He had a white with gold. What other colors did he have? He had a couple other ones. Anyway, Power Swerve is my favorite Predator, not because it's the best Predator by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just the one that I have the most sort of iconic memory with, because I actually had a pair of them. And I've been trying to find a new pair of the Power Swerves for a really long time, especially in that white and gold colorway. But the last ones I got offered in my 9US were like $1,400, and I was not about to pay that much money. So if you have a pair of Predator Power Swerves that are brand new or near new, and you want to sell them to me, DM me on Instagram at noah.cavanaugh. Now, moving on. So then in 2009, he moved to the Adidas Predator X or Predator 10. I believe it was just Predator X. And it was one of the last Predator models Beckham wore before his retirement. So I know a lot of you guys, he wore the Lethal Zones as well. Those the LZ, in a white and pink and black colorway, which of course they made a remake of pretty recently. But for me, this is probably one of the coolest colorways outside of obviously the black and red and white. Yes, of course. But from a history perspective, pretty wild, because Beckham's been not only around for a really long time, but just from a history perspective, it's so cool to now see the Predator back where I think it should be, which is not a boot that's necessarily focused on weight. It's not focused, yeah, sure, it's got some modern tech into it, especially the normal elite version, if you will. But this and the Rotero are two boots that I just think are exceptional in this is what the Predator should have been when it stopped with the power swerve. The Predator X, the what else? Why am I thinking? Oh, the LZ, sorry. The Lethal Zones, some of the other Predators that have come out since then, just not a Predator Edge. You know, like those are not Predators. These are Predators. These boots. I would argue even the Predator Elite is not really a Predator. Like this leather, fold over tongue, power boot, not the lightest boot on the market, but it doesn't matter because they're stupid comfortable and they perform so well. So without further ado, that's a long-winded history. Let's hop into the on-feet portion of the video and show you guys how freaking awesome these look on feet. All right, fam, out here in the backyard with the absolutely beautiful and iconic David Beckham Predator Elite FT. I can't wait to get these on feet. I think they're gonna look, feel, and just ooze class. And yes, by the way, I did decide to go with the blue because I just think they look really cool, especially with the all-white blue accent on the inside, blue accent on the tongue. Let's rip into these. And I'm sure these are gonna fit pretty much identically to the Rotero. So let's go. Here we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. God, this, man, I don't know why Adidas didn't just make this edition the Predator, because this boot feels so much more like a Predator than the regular Predator Elite with the Hybrid Touch 2.0. And yeah, dude, I think the Predator Elite 2.0 is an excellent football boot. I love that boot. I wore it a bunch this past year for 1-0 and in training sessions and all that stuff with some friends, and like, I love them. But this is a Predator. This is with the leather. This Predator is absolutely fantastic. I actually wore the Rotero for a session with my buddy yesterday. We were out and I was helping him train because he's here on some trials in November. We're filming this November 26th, and I wore the Rotero, which is the same feeling football boot as this. It's the same boot. And I tell you what, man, those are something different. And so are these. The difference that the leather makes to the feeling of premiumness and the feeling of it being a proper Predator, including the fact that I think they've nailed the shape of these. They're wider fitting just in general. I think they're gonna suit a lot of different people. If you have wide feet like me, just be prepared for a tiny bit of break-in time here on the outside. But outside of that, man, these are some of, if not the best boots of 2024. Not only the colorway is iconic. Sorry, the birds are going absolutely nuts right now. I hope it's not too distracting. But these are not only probably the best looking football boots of 2024, but easily up there for football boot of 2024, just in terms of the construction, the quality of the upper, the feeling that you get when you play in them. We were on a pretty sandy and wet firm ground pitch yesterday, and the Roteros performed excellently well. That 1-month review is coming very soon. In fact, it will probably be out before this video even drops, but you guys get the idea anyway. I just think these are an incredible pair of football boots, and I really wish that Adidas had just done this with the Predator as opposed to making it a synthetic based. On top of the fact that you guys said that Rotero was the last leather Predator, but here we are. So here's a full look at the boots. I'm gonna get these Birks out of the way, and they look absolutely incredible in my opinion. White with the blue accents looks amazing. I am so freaking pumped to have a pair of these, and I cannot wait, absolutely cannot wait to see how these kind of go with age. I imagine playing in them in some really special occasions. I think training in them, I'd probably pick the Roteros just because they're not going to get as trashed and they're not going to look as aged over time because of the darker color scheme. Whereas these, I just want to keep for those really special, beautiful occasions. I'll break them in, do some different types of, I'll probably do some videos and photos and stuff on Instagram for them, but I probably won't do a playtest for these because my thoughts are going to be the same with the Roteros as they are for these. It's the same football boot, just a different color. I just think that I had to have this colorway because obviously blue is my favorite color, kind of that off blue green aquamarine color. This is pretty much close enough, and I think these look absolutely insanely amazing. So very, very excited. Touch on the ball for the Predator Elite is excellent. It feels very similar to the Copa Pure 2, or Copa Pure 1, I guess, as well. Although the FT model for the Predator, the Rotero, and the David Beckhams feels just a little bit more plush and padded. Number one, because of the fold over tongue, but number two, because of the grip elements that you can kind of feel like as you touch the ball right in this area. There's obviously some of the grip here in the forefoot, and so you do feel a little bit of that, adding just that little bit of extra plushness to the upper, which is fair enough. I just think pinging a ball with these, passing, training in them, they feel really good. The lockdown in the heel is not as good as maybe it could be, but I do find the heel area to be incredibly comfortable regardless. And to be honest, I think it fits because of the way that the upper wraps your foot, I think a little bit more seamlessly in these ones than the regular F50 Elite. I do feel like the heel area complements these better than it does the synthetic hybrid touch model. That's just my own testing and sort of thoughts on that. You might have a different experience if you have both the Rotero and the regular Elite, but for me, this is probably going to be boot of the year. I don't know yet, but we're talking, it's for sure in the top 3 of 2024. This is it's so good. I cannot express to you guys how good this is. And if you guys are on the secondary market, and I know I said this maybe either in the Rotero review or not the 1 month review, but in the playtest, this is a boot that I would pay over market value for. If you guys are on the market for a pair of these and you love the Predator Elite, but you want the upper echelon, the best Predator experience you possibly can, and you want either the Rotero or the David Beckham, I would highly, highly, highly recommend you go for a pair of these. They are incredible. They are so comfortable. The leather is really soft. Yes, it's not kangaroo leather, but it doesn't really matter because they've done such a nice job to the upper of this. It feels very seamless on feet, pretty locked in for the kind of boot that it is. And the sole plate obviously performs totally great. No hot spots on it at all, no areas of discomfort. And I do think that these are just a sensational pair of football boots. And it is really confusing to me why Adidas made the Hybrid Touch Predator Elite and the Fiber Touch F50 Elite, and then they made the special edition versions of those, and those should have just been the regular editions of those because they're better in every single feasible way. Comfort, performance, touch, pinginess. The only argument you could make for Fiber Touch, for instance, and maybe you could make this argument for the Predator Elite with the Hybrid Touch 2.0, maybe you could make the argument that they're a little bit more responsive, maybe, but it doesn't really matter because people love the touch of the Hybrid Touch 1.0 on the Messy edition, and they love the pinginess of a leather Predator. So that doesn't really make any sense to me. Adidas, I don't know what you're thinking. I know you love the special editions. It creates hype around a product, but why not just create excellent football boots? You don't see Mizuno coming out with special editions, and when they do, it's the Morelia DNA, which is debatably the greatest football boot that's ever been created. And you know what? That's a football boot that only comes out once every 4 years or 5 years or some dumb like that, right? It's so, so rare, and you can hardly find them. But that just hypes up the rest of the category as opposed to these sort of overshadowing the rest. Anyway, I'm on a rant. I realize that this video is about the David Beckham Predators, which I highly, highly recommend. Again, let's say these retailed for about $300, which I think they did at like stock price. I would probably currently pay, I didn't for these, but I would probably pay up to like 400 or even 450 US dollars for these because they are that damn good. They are so, so excellent. It is a boot that I would highly recommend you pick up if you can. They run true to size, so as you can see, 9 US fits me perfectly. Just that little edge of space, which is exactly what I'm looking for. And touch on the ball is excellent. Feel on the ball is excellent. And this is what a Predator is all about. So that's gonna wrap up today's video of the David Beckham Predator Elite FT. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you guys are interested in a pair of the Roteros or the DB Preds, I will try and leave some links down in the description box below. I'll also look on the YouTube or Google shop so that they'll pop up on screen. So if you guys go on screen, I think if I'm looking at the screen properly, it's there or there at the bottom. You'll see the little shopping icon and you can go in. I'll try and find links for those that I'll put right there. And then you can purchase some for yourself. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up today's video. Discount codes for Miter footballs and the WeFoot grip socks, which are some of my favorite brands in the world. They are down in the description box below. As always, be awesome, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.